Now let's go with another favorite matchup, which will be in the nighttime. USC versus Utah. Now, Utah is definitely not pleased with how they performed last week against UCLA. They got smacked in the mouth. But I'm gonna be honest with you, Avery. If there is any game that will be an upset, I feel it will be this one. I have Utah winning by a field goal in this game. I feel that they will come into this game with redemption in their minds. I don't see them playing sloppy like the way they did last week. Um, and Utah leads Pac-12 in total defense. So even though they didn't show that last week, but I have a good feeling about them for this weekend. USC, is top 5 in Pac-12 and passing efficiency, but and they're undefeated. But I don't know. This game might be a close one, and both teams are parallel in numbers. So, but I feel that Utah will pull an upset and win by 3 points. I'll say 29-26.
I like that score. And you're right. Same thing with you're right. Both teams, great defenses. Same thing with other schools. They barely allow about 15 points a game. The game with UCLA was, I think, a shocker to them, losing by 10 points. But this is the interesting thing about this game. The beginning of the year, Utah was riding high. Their game with Ohio State at the Rose Bowl on New Year's Day, in my opinion, I consider that the best bowl game of the season. So everybody was riding high on Utah, possible playoff school. I mean, their offensive lines are nationally known. Their defense are nationally known. So in their first game, and they get beat by Florida of all teams, everybody is like, whoa, what happened? This is a potential playoff school. What is going on? Now, granted, they did bounce back. They had some really great games against Arizona State, San Diego State, and of course, Oregon State. But I think that game with UCLA, especially hearing some things out of the UCA camp, especially playing at the Coliseum and not a lot of UCLA fans showing up, I think that was kind of we can't take this for granted. We have to show up. And also, they're still barely in the rankings. They rank 20th, especially with 2 losses. USC, on the other hand, you're looking back to the days of Pete Carroll and Reggie Bush and Matt. I mean, this offense is stellar. If you asked us in the beginning of the season, that USC is looking at a possible playoff, I may have laughed in your face, and that would have been rude of me. But honestly, I mean, this is going to be a great game. I think this could be a game of the day. I like your score. I do see Utah, like you say, coming from redemption. That UCLA game was just horrible. It was just horrible. If Utah pulls this out, I think it's going to be close as well. But I see it probably be a little bit higher. I think their defense are going to try to make these crucial stops, but their quarterbacks probably are just going to be a bit overwhelmed. Utah does have a really good high total yardage. They produce about 450 yards per game. USC just a little bit more of 460, but what they give up is probably going to be the difference. I love upsets, but I think this is going to be close. I think Utah's going to take this, and I think they're going to take it like 30-27. I do like your assessment of it's possibly going to be a field goal, but I see Utah taking this, especially since they're playing at home.